我37岁。
I'm 37 years old. Life has been hard, and I have no other choice. My child is sick, and my child needs to eat. My child isn't in daycare, so I have to stay home to take care of them. I can't leave the house to work. My child doesn't have a father, and I don't have any family. So I take clients. Call me. Whether you're just looking for someone to sleep with, or you just want to help me out and give me some money, I'll accept. Call me. This is the so-called prosperity under the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda. A single mother, forced by life's hardships, has cast aside her pride and dignity and taken the road of openly selling her body. Her confused eyes show nothing but despair and helplessness. What has she done wrong other than trying to survive? This isn't just her tragedy. It reflects the harsh reality of survival for those at the bottom of Chinese society. This scene comes from a narrow alley in Hunan. On the filthy, cramped street, women stand on the roadside, looking hopefully at passersby, wishing for a customer. It's said that with so many unemployed people entering this line of work, combined with the economic downturn, the industry has become so competitive that prices have dropped to just 70 yuan, about $10. This may be why this single mother resorted to advertising herself openly on social media. However, her promotional video was quickly taken down by the platform. Platforms now even ban borderline dancing videos, so openly soliciting clients is definitely not allowed. Do you remember the story we reported earlier about Wu Liufang, the former Chinese gymnast? Wu became a popular influencer on Douyin by dancing, but sparked controversy when another former gymnast, Guang Chen, accused her of performing borderline provocative dances. Following the accusations, Wu's Douyin account was restricted and eventually banned. But what followed was an unexpected twist. After her ban, people trying to dig up dirt on Wu discovered the opposite. Unlike other celebrities exposed for scandals, Wu's reputation only improved. She once worked as a temporary coach at a sports school, earning just 3,600 yuan per month without a permanent position. During her toughest times, she even engaged in charity work. This reversal earned her a lot of goodwill, and she gained millions of new followers almost overnight. Her Douyin account now has 6.3 million followers, and even people overseas created Douyin accounts just to support her. But on December 24th, things took a turn. Despite Wu apologizing repeatedly in a live stream, after her previous punishment and deleting all videos that might seem provocative, Douyin punished her again. Overnight, her 6.3 million followers were forcibly unfollowed, leaving her with only 44,000. This sparked another wave of public outrage. People questioned, why is Wu being punished when so many others post borderline dance videos? If these videos are violations, then the platform should eliminate them during the review process instead of selectively punishing individuals like Wu for show. Where are the boundaries of these rules? Amid public pressure, Douyin's vice president, Li Liang, responded on social media, saying, "There are significant differences in judgment and handling regarding athletes. We still need to follow national laws and regulatory guidelines." The implication is that banning Wu was a directive from higher authorities, not Douyin's decision. Commentators weighed in on this incident, saying, "Your personal preferences, choices, and the independence of your account mean nothing to an unpredictable platform or a displeased government authority. To the platform, every individual is just a data point, at most a tool. For a society to treat a former national athlete who contributed to Chinese gymnastics like this, are we really making progress?" Wu's case also illustrates another broader issue. Even someone with millions of followers can be arbitrarily targeted by platforms, despite overwhelming public support. If someone like her can't survive in this system, what hope is there for ordinary people? Amid China's current economic downturn, it's the people at the bottom who are hit the hardest. Workers across industries face layoffs, pay cuts, and fierce competition. Many struggle just to get by. On November 2nd, a video surfaced showing a young woman in Henan picking food out of a trash can. She looked well-dressed and clean, with neatly groomed hair. We don't know her story, but it's clear she must have been so hungry and desperate that she put aside her dignity to search for food in the trash. On December 1st, in Jiangsu, someone recorded an elderly woman searching for food near a garbage can. On December 8th, in Zhejiang, a video showed a lonely elderly man collecting leftovers from garbage cans every day to take home and cook. These people want to live with dignity, but in Xi Jinping's so-called prosperity, they are left to scavenge for food in trash bins. Right now, many ordinary people who bought homes at high prices are also struggling desperately. The heavy burden of expensive mortgages already makes it hard for them to breathe, but what's worse is that housing prices keep dropping, and their homes won't sell. Even if they manage to sell, they'll lose a huge amount of money in the process. I can't go on living. A loan of 3.68 million yuan. How am I supposed to pay it back? I have to pay over 5,000 yuan every month for the mortgage. People like us, regular wage earners, only make around 4,000 yuan a month. And on top of that, I have a child. I really regret buying this house. A few years ago, I bought it for over 2 million yuan. Right now, I couldn't help but check, and homes in the same complex are selling for 1.3 million yuan, and no one's even buying them. I took out a loan of over 1 million yuan, and I'm still paying back more than 5,000 every month, with 28 years left to go. Now I'm thinking, if I sell the house, I might only get a little over 1 million yuan for it, just enough to pay off the mortgage. That means the 700,000 yuan I've already paid is completely gone. No house, no money. Meanwhile, another heart-wrenching video is circulating online, showing food delivery workers bringing their children along while delivering orders. These clips have drawn a lot of sympathy, as it's clear that these workers are living through extremely difficult times. Thankfully, some kind strangers have stepped in to watch over the children when parents are out delivering. On December 19th in Hubei, a food delivery worker left his child in a box while delivering an order. Some kind citizens stood nearby to keep the child safe. Life is so hard. Look, this delivery guy even has to bring his child with him to work. What if someone takes the child away? Yeah, my goodness, what if the bike tips over? It's so dangerous. On December 18th in Zhejiang, another food delivery worker left his child downstairs while delivering food. A building staff member stood nearby to quietly watch over the child. On December 15th, also in Zhejiang, another video showed a delivery worker bringing their child along in freezing weather, with outdoor temperatures just 4 degrees Celsius, 39 degrees Fahrenheit. The person recording the video sighed. Life is really hard for people nowadays. On such a cold day, who would risk taking their child out unless they had no other choice and were forced to? Some commenters noted that these children left downstairs are essentially hostages, tethering these workers to exhausting labor like beasts of burden. Others pointed out that this harsh reality is one of the reasons why many people nowadays don't want to get married or have children anymore. One commenter wrote, "The CCP will probably spin this as a story of positive energy, glorifying hardship. But praising suffering is just a sinister tactic of those who exploit others." Recently, another man filmed rows of tents under a bridge in Guangzhou, capturing yet another stark image of people struggling to survive.
Here in Guangzhou, under this bridge, you won't find tourists or outdoor enthusiasts. Instead, it's a refuge for delivery riders and migrant workers. They live here to avoid rent and utility costs, saving significant expenses. It's tough work to earn a living and support a family.
This video has been widely circulated on social media. On December 23rd, multiple media outlets also reported on the incident. The situation caught the attention of the Guangzhou government. By December 25th, some netizens noticed that the tents under the bridge had been cleared, and the original video had been deleted. The man who originally posted the video stated,
"The issue of people sleeping under the bridge has concluded, thanks to media intervention. They assured me, the authorities have a good solution. They'll arrange for these individuals. I'm not sure if that's true, but the area is now cleared."
The man was too naive. The authorities' so-called solution was simply to drive people away and call it resolved. How could they truly provide assistance? It's heartbreaking for those workers. At least they had a place to rest before, but now even that is gone. They might not even be able to continue delivering food and will be forced to return to their hometowns. In fact, the food delivery and ride-hailing industries are the last refuge for many middle-aged unemployed workers. If even this path becomes unavailable, ordinary people truly have no way to survive. On December 19th, a woman in Beijing shared a post saying her entire family is now unemployed and living off just 100 yuan. She explained that she lost her job while pregnant in January and is now a full-time stay-at-home mom. Her younger brother, who worked in construction, lost his job in October. Her husband, an architectural designer, became unemployed in November. Her sister, formerly a CFO, lost her job when her company closed in November. And her brother-in-law, a programmer, was laid off in December. Currently, the family's only income is the 100 yuan monthly pension from her parents. With the Lunar New Year approaching, she said the family just sits and stares at each other in silence. Reflecting on the anxiety and instability faced by young people today, she added, "When you're pushed to the limit, you can only laugh. You're holding on, trying not to go insane. In Guangzhou, on December 17th, a netizen posted on the social platform My, saying he graduated from South China Normal University, a prestigious school, and worked in front-end development. At 40, he was laid off and has been unemployed for 2 months. Every day, he goes to the library to pretend he's still working so his family won't find out. He has sent out 458 applications, but none have gotten a response. Companies reject him either because he's over 35 or lacks the experience they want. He also has a mortgage to pay, children who need money for school, and parents who rely on him for support. He pleaded, "I hope society can pay more attention to unemployed middle-aged people and give us a chance." Some commenters advised him to tell his family the truth, saying, "Carrying it all by yourself for too long will break you. Be honest before you collapse." On December 16th, a man in Chongqing shared that he has a graduate degree but is currently unemployed and tens of thousands of yuan in debt.
I'm 31 years old now. I wonder if anyone else is like me, still unemployed. I've got debts of around 200,000 yuan. I graduated with a master's in civil engineering when the job market was booming, but by graduation, it was fiercely competitive. I managed to get into Sunac in Wuhan, one of the top real estate firms, feeling privileged to be an engineer there. However, after less than 6 months of work in 2019, the epidemic struck. We barely made it through 2020, and by 2021, Sunac started defaulting. Our entire sub-project team of about 100 was laid off, leaving only a handful to finish up.
According to the man, he resigned in 2021 to start his own business. At first, he was cautious and opened just one store, which performed reasonably well. However, he soon grew dissatisfied with his progress, and along with 3 friends who joined him, expanded to open 4 stores. This kind of blind expansion often ends in disaster. The stores eventually suffered heavy losses, wiping out all his savings and leaving him 200,000 yuan in debt. Now, due to the ongoing real estate slump, finding work in the civil engineering field is even harder. With only a little over a year of professional experience, he has no competitive edge in the job market. He feels lost and uncertain about his future. In today's economic climate, his story is far from unique. The challenges extend beyond real estate-related fields. Almost every industry is struggling. On December 25th, a college student from Henan posted a video documenting his attempt to find a job that complies with labor laws. He attended multiple interviews, only to find that the offers were almost universally bleak. Monthly salaries below 3,000 yuan, workdays lasting over 10 hours, no overtime pay, and no social insurance or housing fund. One job at a pet groomer offered a base salary of just 1,000 yuan for 10-hour workdays, with no overtime pay and only 3 days off per month. One HR representative told him outright, "You're in Henan. If you don't work in a factory, you won't find jobs with benefits." This is the stark reality of China's job market. As for labor law enforcement, it seems more like a tool to regulate foreign enterprises than something that applies to domestic companies. Many young people who can't find jobs in major cities are returning to their hometowns to try their luck. However, under current economic conditions, life in smaller cities is often even harder.
In Zhoukou at the moment, many families are finding it hard to keep food on the table. Can you believe that? There are individuals who can't even find 10,000 yuan in their wallets. Some friends might hear this and accuse me of talking nonsense. They might say, "It's not like back in the days when having 10,000 yuan was a significant amount. Even during tough times, you can manage to pull out that much, right?" But let me tell you, this is a true state of affairs for many families. Don't be misled by the fact that we've relaxed the lockdowns over the past couple of years. Making money has become increasingly difficult. In Zhoukou, half the significant employers and small businesses are now reducing wages and laying off workers, living life with tightened belts. If you think about starting your own small business, you're immediately faced with competitors slashing prices, engaging in price wars, and the pressure from such intense competition is just too much to bear.
The blogger, who calls himself Little Wong from Zhoukou, shared the story of a friend who once owned a chain of restaurants during his prime. At the height of his success, he operated multiple locations in the city and county, earning tens of thousands of yuan in daily revenue. He drove a Mercedes E300 and used a high-end Samsung W series phone, living a life of luxury. However, in the past 2 years, business in the restaurant industry has declined significantly. Fewer customers were dining out, and fierce price wars among competitors made the situation worse. Within just 2 years, most of his restaurants shut down, leaving only one still operating. To compete on price and attract customers, he even sold his luxury car, sustaining losses for several months. But instead of drawing in customers, he exhausted all his savings. Now, the one remaining restaurant is also losing money. His friend plans to shut it down after the new year and deliver food to make ends meet, waiting for the market to recover. His friend's story reflects the struggles faced by restaurant owners across the board. Whether they're newcomers or veterans in the industry, the devastating impact of economic stagnation and declining customer spending has left few unscathed. Zhoukou, where Little Wang lives, is a third-tier city in Henan province. The average monthly wage barely reaches 3,000 yuan. Little Wang works as a real estate agent, interacting with customers from various industries. From what he's observed, many people in Zhoukou are now relying on credit cards to get by. Households are burdened with mortgages, car loans, education expenses for children, and care for elderly parents, alongside obligations like wedding and funeral gifts. Month after month, their income can't cover the expenses. For most people, life has become a grind. It's a repetitive cycle of commuting between home and work, with no socializing or genuine entertainment. Having a stable job is considered a blessing, so employees tread carefully, fearing even a minor mistake could lead to being laid off. Everyone is anxious and directionless, pushing their bodies to the limit just to keep working. There's little talk of happiness in such circumstances. As one young man who once worked as a food delivery driver aptly described, life for the lower classes in China often feels like mere survival rather than actual living.
After half a month of delivering food, here's my take. I work full-time residential delivery, and what I've learned is that, for those at the bottom, it's all about survival, not living. Life here is devoid of hope because options are scarce.
The young man shared his experience, describing the food delivery industry as one of the most grueling jobs at the bottom of society. He worked 14-hour shifts daily, officially starting at 7 a.m. and ending at 9 p.m., but in reality, most days stretched until nearly 10 p.m. By the time he cleaned up and went to bed, it was close to midnight, and he had to get up again at 6 a.m. Breakfast was eaten in brief intervals while waiting for orders, and he barely finished his meal before rushing off to deliver. Lunch came as late as 3 p.m., eaten hastily to avoid interrupting delivery schedules. Even mealtime was tightly managed, with drivers taking turns eating so orders could still go out without delay. The work was not only physically exhausting, but also fraught with danger. Although he considered himself a rule-abiding person, the strict delivery time limits forced him to speed, run red lights, and ride against traffic. In just 2 weeks, he ran 5 red lights and encountered countless instances of riding in the wrong lane. He witnessed 4 electric scooter incidents, including one where he himself crashed into a guardrail on his very first day. Many delivery drivers juggle riding their scooters while constantly looking at their phones to accept or grab new orders, adding to the risks. Beyond the dangers, the long hours in a single position often lead to chronic health issues such as bone spurs, back pain, and arthritis, ailments that seem to be endemic among delivery drivers. What he found hardest to endure, however, wasn't the physical toll, but the profound sense of hopelessness. He described feeling like he could see the end of his life's path from the very start, an endless cycle of repetitive tasks with no variation or growth. The monotony was crushing, a daily grind that left no room for dreams or aspirations. Yet for many, there's no way out. Their only choice is to quit. But even then, they face the same grim reality in other low-tier jobs. This isn't just the plight of delivery workers, it's the shared experience of all those at the bottom of society.
Those in bottom-tier jobs are at society's base, providing essential services but receiving little kindness. Society is cold and indifferent to them. Since becoming a delivery rider, terms like happiness index strike me as ridiculous. Glorifying the struggles of the underprivileged as inspirational tales is disgraceful. In this line of work, there's no living, just a bare, cold survival.
This food delivery workers video resonated with countless individuals, especially those still struggling in the same line of work. Under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party, individuals are bound and swept along by a vast and unyielding machine, leaving no room for autonomy or choice. In the past, when the economy was thriving, life for many was at least tolerable. However, in today's climate and the foreseeable future, survival has become the primary focus for countless people at the bottom of the social ladder. For them, a better life has become an unattainable dream, overshadowed by the struggle to simply get by. This sobering reality underscores the systemic challenges faced by those whose labor sustains the society, but who are often left with no means to secure their own dignity and well-being.